Stanley Kubrick said that whatever you can think, you can film. So just your thoughts is completely free. You can think of whatever the fuck you want to think. So, I want to explain to you my new obsession with cinema. When I was in high school, I was obsessed with shoes. See, I was only into material things when I was in high school. See, I only care about what's on the bottom of my feet. I don't even care about my body. I only care about my shoes. That was before I started working out. And I started lifting because I wanted to jump higher. And naturally, I started to only do my calves. And then I moved up. And I was like, wait a second. If you want to jump higher, you have to work on your glutes and your hamstrings and your quads. So I started doing squats. I started doing leg workouts. Then I started caring about only my lower body. There's a progression going on here. And I'm rising above myself. I'm transcending, you know, from the material to the immaterial. I'll get there. Lower body, and I'm like, okay, well, if I want to look aesthetic, I must build up my upper body as well. Then I started doing some, you know, chest, lats, biceps, and shit like that. And then I started to progress a little bit more. I'm like, wait a second, is there more that I can do with myself? Then I started thinking about the connection between the brain and the body. Okay, the brain and the body. Then I started to do a lot of research on the CNS. Then I started to realize that to go beyond that, you know, at least conceptually, through this route of transcendence, I sort of have to leave my body behind. And I started only caring about the brain. And I was like, I started caring about the brain and how it connects to the mind, and how consciousness, how the immaterial mind, how thoughts and feelings arise from the physical brain, right? And then just recently, I started to let go of that too. I stopped reading about the brain. I stopped caring about how the brain works. I stopped, you know, looking into books about neuroscience and psychology and stuff like that. And I started to only care about the mind and not even the brain. Like, you know what? I was like, fuck the relationship between the brain and the mind. Fuck knowing how the mind rises from the brain. Just focus on the content of the mind. Just focus on the transparency of the consciousness, right? And then I started to ask myself, what is the best way to express directly what's on your consciousness and what's on your mind? And I was like, well, out of all the art forms, I think cinema or film is just the medium that is closest to resembling the content of the medium of the mind. See, watching a movie is like a mind meeting another mind. The screen itself is the director's mind. And that's why movies are so... That's why people can be so engaged in movie. Movie is the only art form that can really grab someone. When you look at a sculpture, a painting, or a picture, or even when you're reading a poem, somehow it doesn't have the power of cinema to really mindfuck you. To really just, in a collective global scale, just if you play a movie on a big screen and 2,000 people watches it, it's like they're sharing your dream. Every one of them is inside your mind, Inception style. So the film medium itself, it's so immaterial. You know, the sculptures, you can hold it. You know, photographs and, like, you know, architecture. You can touch these things because they're still not transcendent they still didn't transcend themselves enough to be in the completely mental sphere. So, like, this is the new film that I'm working on. I've been editing this for a while now. See, I don't want to show too much of it. Okay. See, this is this is a new film that I'm editing right now. This is my stream of consciousness right here, you know. It's like I'm composing music, but with images and sound, right? I really want to examine how to directly transfer the content of my mind, you know, directly to you guys, you know. So this is gonna be a new change of direction in my channel starting from 2013, and this video that I'm editing right now, I've been working on it for a week now. It's gonna be a pretty good example of the stuff that you guys are gonna be seeing. Of course, I'm still gonna work out. Of course, I'm gonna still lift, right? But I'm just saying that when you watch this video, you'll understand